who has... Like, imagine you have 80% ice in your attack. So you just say, yeah, he has an ice attack. But... And then you have an enemy who has 50% ice resistance. Or weakness. Let's say 50% ice weakness. So you just say, yup, Squall does... So he says, yep, weak against ice, Squall does double damage, but Squall doesn't do double damage, and you're all the way confused. And the point is, 50% ice weakness means that part of your attack that is ice elemental gets amplified by 50%. So 80% of Squall's attack are ice, 80%, and a half of that are 40%, so Squall just gets a bonus of 40% of his basic attack strength for attacking that enemy. Which is not that much. Of course it's something. It's something you wanna have when you're fighting a hard enemy. But it's less than you would expect when you see in the analyze, in the scan, weak against ice. One other very fun thing is that throughout the whole game of Final Fantasy, I think, Final Fantasy VIII, if I'm not mistaken, there is no boss who is strong or immune against ice, and not strong or immune against all other elements as well. So, for Shiva, if the enemy has elemental weaknesses at all, you can use Shiva against him and score at least 100% efficiency. Or maybe even more if it's a fire boss. Which is really odd. But I think I checked on it and went through the bosses I knew of. And of course at the end there are all kinds of bosses which are just absorbing all elements, and of course they are absorbing Shiva too. But that's all elements, like, yeah, it's an exception. There is no boss, I believe, that's especially ice elemental. Which is really odd, because... yeah, it's like Final Fantasy IX, Ice Cave, Final Fantasy VII, Glacier. It's like, you can really well do ice elemental dungeons. And Final Fantasy VIII has areas with snow and stuff. But I don't think there are bosses there. Like, you'd never fight a boss in a snowy region, it's just bad luck. And I think that's a funny detail. Which also leads to the fact that Shiva is often one of the GFs which has the highest friendliness value of all GFs with the associated characters, simply because she does not have this "oh, I must not use her now, the boss absorbs her" moment. You can just use her always. Always use her. Hello spider, hello fly. Come down here and I'll make you die. No, seriously. You can save so much money on flying for what do you call them? The nets in the windows to keep flies out. You can save so much money on those if you just allow 1, 2, 3 spiders to live outside your window, like a general area. Because, like, yeah, well, they're natural predators on all things that fly, all flying insects. 1, 2, 3. But so I usually just say, okay, you live outside my window, that's perfectly fine. Thanks for helping. But when they come inside and come onto my desk, it's like traversing into Area 51. Never to be seen again. And right now one's onto my ceiling and I'm just watching it, because I don't like spiders suddenly dropping onto my head. I'm really not like an arachnophobe, but like suddenly in front of your eyes dangling black spider, just no. There's nothing about being an arachnophobe, it's just about common sense. And this thing really distracts me, I need to kill it. So for that I need to stand up, and that's kinda complicated while recording. Fucking hell. Are there any... No, of course there are no remote devices here. Like something I can throw. I'll probably miss. I'll just improvise. I hope you don't hear that. Yeah. I hope I don't hear that in a recording. Let's wreck the desk. Stupid me, eh? Let's just imagine that never happened, yeah? Let's just agree on that. You won't tell parents that I did that on video, and I won't tell them where you hit the bodies. Okay, so we're saving right now. Just we crossed the dangerous forest again, and without saving, it's actually pretty risky. Dinosaur could have eaten us. So yeah, we have Ifrit, which is our living proof that we bested the fire grotto and are now qualified to attend the seed practical exam, which is pretty great. Can't reach. Yeah, well done. What I'm saying. Oh yeah. Now she's telling me about taking care of your GF. This means just yeah. Leave me alone. That just means telling a GF what ability to learn. And it really is an important stuff, because if you don't, the GF will learn the GF strength bonus abilities, then the GF HP bonus abilities, and then just go through the bottom until it's finished. And that's just the worst possible order, because of course I learned the refinement abilities first because of the playstyle I'll do in this Let's Play. But in general, you want the junctions first, then the refinement or the character stat bonus, personal preference, and the GF things totally last, because they are like, yeah, great. So at the start of the game, where you have simply nothing, they just help you one tiny bit. And at the end of the game, you simply don't have the time in the battles to use the GFs anymore, so they are of no use at all. It's just doesn't make sense. Okay. Oh, wait a minute. Oh yeah, and of course there are commands which you might wanna learn. Yeah, I think I'm gonna put the command after the card command after HP junction. We'll see why. Yeah. Oh, by the way, the basic stats, I didn't explain those. Strength, also STR, strength of course is physical attack strength, hard you hit. SPD is how fast your time bar fills. Then you have VIT, which is how resilient you are, so physical damage reduction. Oh, it's dead. Oh, that's so dead. Then you have magic, which is how hard your magic sit. Some characters use magic special techniques. For example, most of Quiz's techniques are magic and use magic attack. Spirit is the same as VIT, just for magic, so damage reduction against magic attacks. Then you have luck, which is your chance to crit, I think. Something like that. No one knows what luck all does. It's just... And evasion and crit and hit is, of course, your chance to evade an attack and your chance to hit your own attacks. For Squall, hit is kinda awkward, because he always has a maximum hit. For all the other characters, it's not actually that stupid. But not a high priority stat either. And I think, except for evasion, you can indeed junction all of those stats. No, wait, is there hit? Is there hit junction? I'm not exactly sure. I'm really not sure, but it's also not that important. So yeah. I didn't know if I scrolled past it or when Quizzes told me, but I think we have some free time now for ourselves until the the practical exams start. So, for example, we could go to the training center, get more sleep and silence spells, get some levels, but that's stupid. So we're not gonna do that. We're gonna go to the library, because I think there is something hidden there. Like, really small. So this is the way you fast travel via the big sign. And yeah, you remember draw points? Pretty simple. And some of the draw points are very well hidden. Like this one is hidden simply with this change of scenery. There are also draw points which are simply not visible. Like, they are there, they're in plain sight, but the sprite's missing. And that's completely intentional, yeah? There's an ability to reveal those, but you can use them even without this ability if you know where they are. You're just clicking into empty space and suddenly, pling, you found a spell XYZ. So now we found Izuna, which is healing of arbitrary status ailments, as far as I know. Not really that important at the beginning of the game, but draw points have a certain time. I think time is measured by steps you take in which they refill, so it's always nice to go there early and start stocking up, because you never know when we might need it. So yeah, I'm just gonna follow the flow of the game, because I know where the flow will go. So these are our dorms, which is oh, we can actually go here. Actually, this is our partner's room, so I don't know who's living here. I don't think you ever see that person once. But judging from the desk, either Squall or that person is a little bit messy, leaving papers all over the place. But then again, theoretical exams are just a week ago, so yeah. Squall seems to be rather ordered. This is the box for his gunblade, by the way. And there you can see this kind of jacket. That's his uniform. But no. Change into the uniform. Then quizzes did indeed tell us, and I forgot it or didn't read it, because a certain now dead spider distracted me. We just changed into our uniform because for the practical seed exam we need to be in the seed apprentice seed uniform. And for example, we cannot change back now. Changing clothes is just, it's sometimes required for immersion and for the game, and but it's always forced this way. So now we can rest here, which is also nice. Will miraculously fill up Quiz's HP. Even party members which are not in our party are completely available in the junction menu. So I can alter her junctions now as much as I like, which I will... I think I will strip her of her junction shrine. Junction... 1, 2, 3. Junction shrine... This word is horrible! Junctions. Seriously, who thought of that? Who thought that was a good idea? All thanks. Receive. Bam. Okay, because as far as I know, I'm not gonna use her anytime soon. So I'm just gonna do a little preparations. Makes things easier. Plus we can now see how many spells we exactly do have. Nope, not here. Here. So a nice amount of cure, nice amount of sleep. Yeah, I'm gonna make some ice. No, some. Nah, not some ice. Some thunder. We're just gonna make us some thunder. Up. And there you can see how many items do you want to transform. I want to transform all 60 thunder. And now if I tell him to junction optimal for strength, he will probably change something, because fire is no longer optimal. Because fire and thunder are basically have the same affinities to the stats. So basically are the same for strength, but we have more thunder than we have fire, so of course it's better. Not every spell is good at every stat. So like the basic attack spells, fire, ice and thunder, improve strength and magic really well. Or like better than the other stats. So you might want to use them there. And cure is I think on HP and spirit, something like that. So you wanna, but the system knows which stat is good where. That's why the auto junction is so great, because you don't need to remember all that. And we're gonna get to know our next comrade. So yeah. No comment about this guy. Yeah. Drop that. Obviously martial artist, and yeah. The tutorial was about his special technique where you can configure some stuff as well. But whatever. I'll show you. He is so cool, he can make the music change. Or at least fade out. And this is one of the dialogues of this game I love the most. Good luck, Cypher, you're the squad leader. I like her. Like, really, I love this dialogue. It's just, it's perfect. So yeah, I think we have the cliches established here. Oh, we're able to move. Okay, so yeah. I actually don't know how they managed to leave toward the main gate and end up in the parking lot. But I just won't question that. I really need to watch my voice. This is gonna be horrible. And the zones are warped as well. Usually that's just a stepping from his feet, so don't you wonder? I really like the effort they put into the emotions here. Also the small movements and stuff, and really well made. Okay, now we may drive ourselves. The only thing we may not do right now is whatever. The only thing we cannot do right now is leaving, of course, because that would be kind of awkward. With cars, you do never have random encounters, but you cannot enter forests. Obviously, doesn't work. just like a solid wall. You also don't have you don't necessarily have to drive on the street. On streets like these, there are no random encounters even when you're by foot, but it's annoying to run along them. So you usually don't care, so just a little detail. I don't know who designed this city. Much too small, the streets. Now I may move. Okay. So, special techniques. Didn't mention it in detail right up until now. So for squads special technique we have a little indicator, and there's a timing game. Marks going from left to right. You gotta hit them in the right spot. So yeah, and when you do, you get more damage. As for Zell, his special technique is basically Tekken. No, not really, but a little bit. You gotta enter these moves. You have a few of these moves are shown each rotation, selected, like I think 2 or 3. And you gotta enter one of those moves, which are displayed, and then he executes that move, and then you can do the next. And the quicker you can do that, the more moves you get out into in a certain time limit, and the more damage you get, of course. So the screen time is very long with Cell's technique, so it's very bad for fights under timing. But it's all a single action. So when you just want high damage per action, Cell's move is actually one of the best timed with squalls. The G army. The G stands for Galbadia, which is a big nation. So yeah, we got a regional, territorial, warlike conflict, one would probably say nowadays. And we're sending 16 people, 12 people for the exams. Oh no, wait. 9 seats, 12 for the exams, plus instructors, 1 per team. 12, 17, 26 people. So you can roughly imagine how well a seed is trained compared to your average soldier.